This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff, plus Nate.
Minus Alec.
Alec.
I threw the S on there at the end.
I don't think Alex has an S in his name, no matter how you say it, Jim.
Alex.
Got it. Got it. Yes, we are without Alex today, but Jim, Nate, and myself are around. Nate, is there anybody in the Harper household aside from you?
Nope.
Well, then your day's peaceful.
I know. That's why I'm drinking and sitting here watching some swimming of all things.
It's a banner day in the Harper household for Nate.
It is.
He's hanging out by himself. Today is Monday, June 24th, and we have crowned an NBA champion.
Yay.
We have a new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Protest at a PGA event.
Yeah.
Is that what Alex is doing? Is he protesting the podcast?
No, he got himself a significant other and he gone.
That's not what's going on, but
That's what's going on. Let's let people behind the curtain.
There's no behind the curtain there. Jim is speculating based off of one text message. Alex did take to the golf course for the first time ever. You can catch that recap on our Instagram and Facebook at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram, Sports Stuff with Jim Muff on Facebook to hear more about that. And the whole gang is going to be taking part in a scramble, a benefit golf scramble later this week. Nate, what can you tell the loyal listeners about the event that we are going to be partaking in on Thursday?
So it benefits the organization that I'm a part of, the Circus Saints and Sinners. I do not remember who the beneficiary of it is this year off the top of my head, but it is going to be a great time. It'll be my first time at the event. We get lunch included, beer included, dinner included at one of the golf courses at Ogilvy at Crispin.
All right. So
I have decided. Breaking news for you two. I think I'm going to go live at every tee. Like an update at every tee.
In your shorts?
In my shorts. Yeah.
I don't know if we should go live. Maybe we should just record videos at every tee and then
maybe we do that too. But
then
at least
scramble
there will
them
be
together.
live events. There will be some live events.
We can do some live check-ins.
I'm going to give away stickers to people who jump in to the live. So be on the lookout all day Thursday. There might be a beer
not all
count.
day. Maybe not all day. Starting at around 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
If you get the notifications that we're live, you should probably see that for great content.
Content, great to be determined.
By a whole like 9-10.
The content will be better than the golf. I'll put it at that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
We are definitely going to learn a lot about ourselves on Thursday. That is for sure. 62 days until college football is back on August 24th, with the first game being Florida State at Georgia Tech, opening the season in Dublin, Ireland.
Now, that's 62 days from when the show drops?
62 days from the time of the recording.
61 days until college football on Monday, June 24th.
Gotcha. All right.
So 62 days until college football, 61 days until college football. Get excited. You pumped?
I am super pumped.
How many days until NCAA football? The video game, Jim.
Almost 30. What's today's date?
24th.
Exactly 30 days because I pre-ordered it.
Ooh. All right. So 30 days till NCAA football comes out for the video games, and 61 days until real college football is back in Dublin, Ireland. Before we get into today's episode, rest in peace to the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. Baseball loses another great one.
Peace and peace.
As always, thanks to everybody interacting on our content on the social media. Make sure you catch us on YouTube, Sports Stuff with Jim Muff, Instagram at Sports Jim Muff, Twitter at Sports Jim Muff, and Facebook, as mentioned previously, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. And getting into it now, we're going to Hawk Tuah into this week's episode.
Everybody found it, did you?
Oh, I that's been there for a bit, buddy. That Hawk Tuah on that thing.
Before
Listen,
we begin,
I went to the Miners game on Saturday night, and of course there was some guy there that had a custom made shirt that said, "If she don't Hawk Tuah, I don't talk to her."
it's trending. It's trending.
What is happening on the TikTok, Jim? Since you're
Oh, buddy, I couldn't even begin. There's rap songs, there's remixes, there's bumper stickers, there's angry wives about it. There's so much on there. It's crazy. There's the hunt for the actual Hawk Tuah girl.
Was a hunt. I have a confession.
You know her?
I'm Pookie.
I wonder why you're always smiling.
Into the NBA. The Boston Celtics are your NBA champions, beating the Mavericks in 5 games to take the series. Jaylen Brown gets the MVP, but there is some local flavor to this win, as Joe Mazzulla, former WVU star and coach of the Celtics, is a former coach in the Mountain East Conference with Glenville State and Fairmont State. And in his post-game interview, Joe Mazzulla referenced Jim and Nate's alma mater and my current employer, West Liberty University.
Ooh.
Talking about
Alex is an alumni.
Yeah, but he's not on the show.
Alex isn't here today.
He didn't. He's too busy.
So
sorry, Alex. I tried.
Maybe he's with Hawk Tuah.
Oh goodness! So West Liberty was referenced as something as a team, as a game style that was he thought kind of revolutionizing the game, and they were winning at the margins. So that was pretty cool to see West Liberty get a shout out for really no reason. You know, why does this come up? You know, in a post game NBA championship media post-game interview. I have no idea, but congrats to the Celtics. And now comes the NBA offseason.
Hold on. I thought the reference, if I'm not mistaken here, he was referencing like the way he broke down film while saying that style was what he was trying to take away, was kind of winning those plays in the margins.
It was winning the margins, yeah, which is
right.
Having more
like he kind of mixed streams though. He mentioned studying the film of the West Liberty team, and also taking away from them the number of possessions and so on and so forth. And he made it basically like a mat. And I'm no basketball guru at all here, but kind of just simplified basketball down to mathematics.
Possessions per game, quality shots per game, points per possession. Like it's the way that the game has continued to evolve. The Indiana Pacers do this really well. They actually play this style. If you're looking at the West Liberty style that was brought to prominence by Jim Crutchfield, and then has continued on and now is filtered out into across Division II. You're seeing it more now in professional basketball. Like I said, the Pacers pride themselves on quality shots early in the clock. So they want to get a quality shot in the first like 10 to 12 seconds of the shot clock so that they can have more possessions per game. You know, the math goes, the more quality possessions, the quicker you get quality shots up, the more possessions you're going to have and the more points you're going to score. And points is how you win the game.
So Nate and I and you discussed Crutchfield and why he's not in the NBA. Why? That's my question. Why is he not? And you referenced age. Is that what is the hypothesis for his?
Like I say, age is the reason he's not. I just got to imagine at this point in his career, he's not looking to rise through those ranks and make that leap. So not that he isn't capable of doing so. I just don't know. As you get older in your career, do you want to make the step where you have to work 80, 90 hours a week in an NBA as opposed to being a Division II coach, which isn't going to require that much time? That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Nate, what are your guesses here?
I think, like, kind of to Muff's point, he's kind of to that point in his life where I don't think it would be the right fit. And seeing the success he's had at the D2 level, why would you want to go away from that? I mean, you saw what he did at West Liberty, taking them from nothing to something, and he did the same thing at Nova. So, I mean, he's pretty much got it made. And I kind of look at it like the Nick Saban thing, where Nick Saban tried the NFL thing, realized, okay, this isn't for me. And you go back to college and you build a dynasty. Everywhere Crutchfield has been, he's built a dynasty. So that's just that's his niche.
And he is consulted by NBA teams. The Heat there's been articles about the Miami Heat consulting him. I think it's just like gameplay strategy, stuff like that. I don't know how regular those communications are, but he has been consulted by at least the Miami Heat. And I want to say maybe other NBA teams intermittently. It's not like he's on their payroll all the time.
Gotcha. All right.
So starts with our first big news of the NBA offseason, because LeBron James and the Lakers cannot be outdone by a Boston championship, as JJ Redick is finally named Lakers head coach after a couple weeks of debate, smokescreens, and reiteration that LeBron James was not involved in this process. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Redick is reportedly signed to a 4-year deal for about $8 million per year. Calling back to Dan Hurley, his reported deal that was offered to him was going to be about 6 years, $70 million. So JJ Redick getting less than the reported offered deal to Dan Hurley. Do we think that this is a fair salary for Redick as a first-time head coach in the NBA, or do we think it should be more or less?
I mean, I don't know what
right
the average
should be,
but I mean, as a former player, has no coaching experience. I mean, I guess it's all right, but I mean, again, I don't know enough about other salaries of coaches in the league.
I think it's where it should be.
Where it should be.
Yeah.
Do we think LeBron James had nothing to do with this?
No, he had some kind of blessing.
I don't know. Jim, the report says no.
Yeah, I say he had some kind of blessing.
It was a full season interview that he had with him on their podcast. What do you think? The podcast, is that going to continue? Or is that got to get axed now?
It's going to be some variation of. We'll see.
We'll see. Magic Johnson came out with some words.
Yeah, of course, I found it interesting that like he's still the go-to no matter what happens. He said, "I'm cautiously optimistic with this new hire, for both the Lakers and JJ. I enjoy watching him as a player. Great three-point shooter, high basketball IQ, passion for the game, mental and physical toughness. If he can bring out how he played professionally to the Lakers, this could work out. But will his transition from star basketball player to head coach end up like Steve Kerr, Jason Kidd, Ty Lue, or Doc Rivers, or the former NBA players turned coaches who weren't successful?" Like, why does I know he's Magic Johnson. I get it. But like, you were all in with Jeannie Buss. She was your sister, blah, blah, blah. Then you tapped out. Sometimes I think you just stir the shit.
Sometimes that is his role, I feel.
And in this one, it's kind of just like, that was worthless. We all feel that way, Magic. It could be successful or not. Why did you waste the characters in Twitter for that?
He did. And here we are. Who dug into the Pistons?
I did. Draymond Green. I love Draymond Green. First off.
Do you?
I am a fan.
At all times?
Most of the time.
Okay. Say, there's got to be some times where I feel like you don't align.
It's few and far between. Okay. So Draymond comments on the firing of Monty Williams from the Pistons. He says that hired him for an all-time contract in the NBA history, fired him the next year. Green said they didn't give him a chance to actually build what they thought he could build when they hired him for 6 years. You signed someone to a 6-year contract. You couldn't possibly think in 1 year everything would change. You need time to instill culture. Culture isn't built overnight. Congratulations, Monty Williams, on getting fired by the Detroit Pistons after 1 season. He gets to go home, be with his family, and still pull in $65 million over the next 5 years while not coaching for the Pistons. How crazy is that? Yeah. If there was ever a take, like, how's Draymond wrong here?
Not.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I think this is a slam dunk comment.
But like nobody's really talking. Like I found this in like the backspace of Yahoo Sports.
What, those comments?
Yeah,
This you just missed out on it, Jim. You missed out before the Lakers announced because this was in the media discussions.
this is brilliant. Good for you, Draymond, calling a spade a spade.
And everyone else that was commenting on it.
Yeah, but Draymond.
You found a Draymond comment. I get it.
I like it.
This was all over the map the day that it happened.
People who call him crazy or an asshole, they're wrong.
Are sometimes correct.
Everybody can be an asshole.
Moving on into the golf world, speaking of assholes, in the PGA, the Travelers Championship had an eventful ending, and not just because the tournament went to a sudden death playoff between Scotty Scheffler and Tom Kim. It was because about a half dozen protesters stormed the 18th green prior to Scheffler and Kim hitting their putts to see if a playoff was needed. The aftermath was everyone being escorted out in handcuffs and some powder of different colors on the green.
What were they protesting? Do we know?
This was free. It's a environmental group.
Are these the same guys that painted Stonehenge and
I believe
covered
so.
up the King Charles picture?
Something oil. They're
so yeah, these are the same guys.
Yeah, this is the same group. At least it's been attributed that it's the same group. I don't know if they have confirmed it, but
so I want to be clear. They painted a new picture of King Charles.
Mm-hmm.
They painted Stonehenge, and then they went to the golf tournament.
And the golf tournament, apparently, this was one of the places.
Their third strike was a golf tournament.
It was the one.
They got to choose a better third target.
Well, they came to America. Everything else was not in America.
Not a Taylor Swift concert. Nothing like that.
They didn't want to die, Jim. They didn't want to die. If they storm that stage, at the very least the taser's coming out.
Very good, Muff. Fair point. Fair point.
They're protecting a world treasure.
Got you.
You don't think Travis comes out and tackles him?
If he's there, which we'll get into. He's been in the fold very recently. So yeah, everyone was escorted out in handcuffs. Interestingly enough, Akshay Bhatia, who is also playing with that group, they were playing in threes today, I think, to get done before weather struck. They allowed him to move the spot where his ball was on the green as to not put through the white powder on the green. And then after Tom Kim made a birdie putt on the final hole to force a playoff with Scotty Scheffler, they actually moved the hole so that it was less likely that they would have to putt through where any of the powder was or had been on the hole itself.
Do we know what the powder was?
It just looked like
color dye.
Color powder, shooting like a color run. Like that's what it looked like to me.
Why not get some water?
Oh, they were messing with some. They cleared it off.
Gotcha, but it was still existent.
It was still around,
yeah.
And I think at the time there was like a larger clump. Like think of flour, like that was just like dumped somewhere. It kind of looked like that, so I think they wanted. And Akshay Bhatia was not in contention to win, so they're like, "Hey, we'll just let you move this so that we can clean this up once you get done." Yeah. They were just kind of trying to get things moving, but Scotty Scheffler did end up winning in the playoff, in the first playoff hole, to become the first player since Arnold Palmer in 1962 to have 6 tournament wins before July. So Scotty Scheffler is on an all-time run right now.
But did Palmer make a cop poop his pants?
I don't think that's been confirmed yet either, but Palmer was not arrested that year, to my knowledge.
There we go.
Had not been detained, and did not. Yeah, I don't think Palmer had that going on for him. He was just drinking some Arnie Palmies.
Make a cop poop your pants, get famous.
Well, I mean, I think his golf is getting him famous, but that did not hurt. Did not hurt the Whirlwind Tour. John Rahm?
John Rahm is not happy about drones. During a live golf event in Nashville at the Grove, he was on the par 6 par 4 sixth tee. Rahm's tee shot sailed right into a water hazard. And before the ball had reached its apex, he turned around, looked into the sky in disgust, and said, "Every tournament, it's fucking incredible. Right on my backswing, these fucking drones every time." And the microphone caught the two-time champ saying this. So apparently, Live Golf's drones screwed up Jon Rahm's swing.
Yeah, there was another within the past few weeks. It may have been at the Memorial. There's another player that asked for the drones to disappear, and this was on a PGA event. It wasn't in a live event, and said, "Hey, we got to get these out of here. Like, I don't want them anywhere near me. They're getting too close. I can hear them. They're screwing me up." So, drones in golf may be something to be tangled with in the coming years. In the same event for the live, Terrell Hatton missed 2 putts in a row, and he blamed the fucking wind.
So just regular wind from the drone.
I do not think it was drone enhanced.
Good question.
It was just a windy day, and wherever this was, Jim, where was this? Nashville?
This was in Nashville. Yep.
Well, just blaming the wind in Nashville. The fucking wind in Nashville.
So before we move on to your next point here, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger got an exception, and I wish I had kept it. It totally blew past me, but he got an exception through PGA rules to play just like 4 to 8 tournaments a season, and he doesn't have to qualify for said tournaments because he's Tiger.
Sponsor exemption, I believe, is the official exemption that they're providing him. I will say we're probably getting into the territory where they're going to have to start making stuff up too. Not gonna lie, so that's coming. I just don't know how quickly that's coming.
Well, no, they passed it according to what I read. Like, it's now the Tiger rule, and he's cleared to go because of his contributions to the sport. My question is, when a guy like Scotty reaches Tiger status, like in age or frailty, do we think that's going to happen too?
Right now, no. Scotty is still nowhere near Tiger's.
So it's truly a status thing.
Yeah, it's a status thing. I mean, Tiger, as far as you're looking at the modern player, most majors won. I mean, Jack's the only one that he's not going to achieve, not going to get to at this point. Number of total tournaments won, most weeks at number 1, like consecutive cuts made. Tiger is still far above everyone else's in the modern golf games situation. So yeah, gotcha. Tiger, if Scotty were to get to that, yes, he would probably get that type of treatment, but he's not there. I'm not saying he can't get there. I'm just saying he's got another 4 to 5 years of playing like he is now to reach those conversations.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Coming back to the protest on the last green at the PGA event, what for you guys, what sport, if you were a competitor, if you were actually playing the sport, do you think would be the most difficult to come back from a delay prior to like the big moment? If you had a delay prior to that big moment, what sport, if you were playing it, would be the most difficult to come back from and be successful?
Oh, football. I want to, like, if I'm playing it. Oh, yeah,
you'd have to be like the quarterback in that situation, in my mind.
If I'm playing it, I would say any Olympic sport. Like, if a protester comes out there before a big lift or a wrestling match or a gymnastics event or things of that nature, where it's just you, and that's gonna mess me up.
An individual event is what you're saying?
Yeah, like that's where it's just me. Like, I can't go to the locker room during the delay and be like, get my mind right with my team, bump some music. Like, football is gonna suck because, like, think of that power outage in the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah,
that did affect the game. A delay sucked, but like individual, because you're asking me what would mess me up. An individual sport would jam me up pretty hard.
Okay, Nate.
I was thinking the same thing like Jim, like an individual sport, like a track and field event,
Yeah.
or not so much golf, because it's not like you have to get warmed up. That's what I'm thinking. Like track, you like warm up, and then it's like, oh
You
well,
know,
now we got the
you
legs.
don't get warmed up for golf.
Not like you would for running
I
track.
mean, Jim's been stretching for weeks trying to
Yeah.
make sure he
I'm
doesn't hurt
old.
himself.
But yeah, I'm thinking like track, or um maybe not so much weightlifting. There's another one I had in my head and it went away. Like maybe if you're a pitcher in a baseball game because you're already hot and then you got to sit for a little while.
Yeah. But you can
Yeah,
go somewhere and go to the bullpen with that and still get
yeah.
your mind right with your friends. Like,
Yeah, but if you've already been pitching in that game for so long,
yeah.
let's say you're throwing a no hitter, for example,
Oh
and
yeah, you're right.
and you're through 7 innings, and all of a sudden you got a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
To get it warmed back up after you've already probably thrown somewhere around 80 to 100 pitches,
Yeah,
that's
you're right. You're right. I'll give you that.
I definitely think I agree. The focus of an individual sport would be tough because, especially if it's a very explosive individual sport. I mean, weightlifting I think is interesting to consider because all your mind, your body, your emotions are all geared up for something that's probably going to take you 3 seconds at the most,
Yeah.
right? And you then have to focus yourself, the adrenaline, everything else. Like I think that's something that's very interesting. I actually had this once. The lights went out in high school football for me. The lights went out in the stadium and we had like a 30-40 minute delay. It was interesting. That's all. It was an interesting situation. But we had to like warm back up and it was like you felt like you were starting a new game, but you didn't have the energy that you had to start the new game.
Yeah. I
So,
just think like I'm thinking about dumps, like legitimately adrenaline dumps. How far am I
think
gonna
about
drop?
big dumps, Jim.
Big dumps.
Big,
Big dumps.
smelly dumps.
But in all actuality, like if I was lifting, like there's a headspace I have to get into, and like it's in there, and then to be like, hey, you're out of rhythm for that. I'm gonna be like, oh God. Or if I'm in a like getting ready to wrestle in like semis or finals, and like I'm now in that headspace of like running it through, and now it's like, oh psych, here's another hour. I'm gonna be like, ugh. And there's nobody like, yeah, I got coaches and things, but like there's nobody to bounce it off of. Whereas like in a football situation, I agree with you that it'd be like it's different, it feels different. You're starting the game over, but it's not as big of a crash. It's there. I'm not denying the crash. Like look at that Super Bowl, but it's not as like there's because you have teammates to rely on. Except for Nate's pitching thing, because that screwed me up too. That no hitter thing messed me up with my theory.
Yeah, because I mean, you see rain delays where pitchers don't come back
Yeah,
just because, like, it's just a strain on their arms, and there's no
yeah.
reason to try to warm them back up and get them out there. So interesting thought. I was just curious where everyone's thoughts were
Hockey
there.
would be another one that I don't know what would happen
I think it's another team sport in that way. Yeah,
because
I
that's a
would.
unique thing for like, and I've been watching it all year, like trying to understand like the psychology of it. And like in football, when you're down 2 or 3 scores, you're like, oh man, these guys do not care. Like the game is not like they don't stop.
Well, they can't.
And that's it. So like I don't know what a delay would
They
do to
have
them.
to skate hard for a minute at a time.
Yeah. So I don't know what a delay would do to those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Hmm. Something to consider. Moving on to the WNBA. Get ready for all the buzzwords again, guys. The Chicago Sky use a fourth quarter comeback to best the Indiana Fever 88-87 on Sunday behind a double-double from Angel Reese. Reese had a career high 25 points and 16
Career
rebounds.
career high. I want to put a emphasis on the fact it was a career high.
First half of her rookie campaign, career high 25 points, 16 rebounds in the winning effort, while Caitlin Clark had 17 points and a Fever record 13 assists in the loss. The Sky outscored the Fever, I want to say, I think it was like by 10, 12 points in the fourth quarter to get this win. So the Fever were up going into the fourth quarter. And anticipated game, it was on ESPN. I don't know if this is normal for these teams to be playing this often. I feel like it's every 10 days we hear about this guy playing the
Yeah.
Fever. I
Yep,
don't
I
know if this
agree.
is
It
normal
is a
or
lot.
not.
It feels abnormal to the typical like us, but I feel like it is normal for them.
Maybe it's just because there's only so many teams in the WNBA
Yeah.
right now, so
Yeah,
that
I
this
agree.
is normal, and we just are like,
Well,
why
and I
are they
feel like
playing so often?
I feel like they're hyping up this rivalry.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, they definitely have goods. Let me phrase that. They have they're scheduling them. These are still middle of the afternoon Sunday games, which I'm
That's
not
kind of ridiculous.
right. I mean,
What else are we gonna watch tonight?
why can't we sub out the Sunday night Major League Baseball game for this?
Amen.
I mean, I understand the Olympic trials are on, but that's just something you poke your head into every once in a while. Like, oh yeah, the Olympics are coming in a few weeks. Great.
Yep.
Like, so I don't know. There was not any. There weren't any flagrant fouls. There weren't any fouls of note that I found in any of the
Why were we
clips.
looking for that? Why are we looking for that?
I wasn't looking for it. Usually, it just pops up, Jim.
I think we should just say the Chicago Barbie beat the Great White Hope, outscoring her 25-17.
Even
Let's
though
just call it like it happened.
they don't guard each other.
Well, she still outscored her.
Yeah, but there's usually
Stats
the
are stats, Muff.
so when the heavyweight outscores the lightweight in a wrestling match, is that how you say it?
They were the same. They still score points. They're basketball players.
They
What do
don't.
you,
They
there's
don't
no
guard.
weight classes in basketball,
They
Muff.
don't guard each other, Jim. They're
There's no
different
weight. Why are you
positions.
trying to make this a thing?
They're different
Now they're
positions.
different.
They're different positions.
Now we're trying to say they're different when she wins.
Yeah.
Wild, Muff. It's wild. Anyway, I talked to Homage, however
You
you.
talked to
Oh,
what?
I talked to Homage, the t-shirt company,
Yeah.
when they sent their shirt out for the Great White Hope, and they did not advertise
First
Angel
off,
Reese.
are you the only one that's actually calling her that?
Yeah, for now. Wait till it catches legs. The Great White Hope got a t-shirt, and I messaged Homage and I said, "Give us Angel Reese." Guess what came out today? Angel Reese's shirt. And guess what Homage said to me? We will get her a shirt. Boom. Got her a shirt. It's my doing. You can thank me, Angel Reese fans.
What's the shirt say?
It's just her shirt. Like, they know how they do the NBA Jam shirts.
Who's on it with her?
I knew you were gonna ask me that. That's why I'm trying to scroll to find it. Hold on. I'll let you know. I gotta find it first.
We should be right in those DMs, buddy.
Well, no, I had to find it on their homepage. They didn't send it straight to me.
Got it. All right. Another WNBA news, rookie star Cameron Brink of the LA Sparks tore her ACL and is out for the season after a solid start to her career. She's a little under the radar compared to her counterparts like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, but she was third in the league in blocks per game and is known for her friendship with Steph Curry and the Curry family. So hopefully
This is not under the radar. It's a big deal to some of our fellow listeners.
Yeah.
Yes. People are upset about it. Shout out to Dusty Dillon, who brought this injury to my attention. He is a big fan
Of Cameron Brink.
of Cameron. Yep.
Okay. All right, Dusty. Well,
Cardoso and Reese are on the shirt.
Camila Cardoso and Reese. Yeah, that makes sense. Both the rookies in there. Oh, Caitlin Clark, it was with Aaliyah Boston, I believe.
Of course you know that, Muff. Of course you know that. You're a fan of the Great White Hope, aren't you?
I have stated. I have stated
and
my
Aaron
thoughts.
Rodgers.
I have stated my thoughts on this for
So,
many episodes now.
it's a conspiracy. Carry on.
It's a conspiracy. Wait, what's the conspiracy?
You and Aaron Rodgers, and now Caitlin Clark.
What is the conspiracy? Are we part of like some Illuminati triangle
I think
situation?
you're part of the Illuminati.
Is that what this is?
I want Cat Williams on this podcast right now.
Okay, fine. Make it happen, buddy. I will welcome him on to have this conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
Moving on to football news. Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin have come out again amid concerns about walk-ons not being able to be a part of football team activities, saying they'll pay for the cost to have walk-ons on the roster out of their own salaries if it's necessary. But again, I believe this has been reiterated. It's not about the money. It's the fault that may come of a court case I believe it's House versus NCAA, and potential roster limits, football being one of them, that may go from 130 to as low as 85 in the coming years. If these roster reductions do happen, how do we feel this is going to impact college football moving forward? Nate.
I don't foresee any reason why you need 130 guys on a team. So, I mean, 85 is fine because what, NFL is 53?
Mm-hmm.
So I think 85 guys on a college team is more than enough. Besides, if you have 130 on the team, you know probably 50 of them are going to transfer anyway.
Well, I think that was part of what they were talking about is if you go down to 85, let's just compare this to a football roster. You have 53 on the active roster. How many are on the practice squad?
Like a dozen or so?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know what that number is. Plus, in professional football, you have the ability to sign anybody at any time. And then you also have in college football now with the transfer portal. How does that impact this? Players opting out, anything like that. So, Kirby Smart and Lane Kiffin aren't the only ones that I think are about this, but they're saying 85 is too low. 130 may very well be too high, but 85 is too low. Jim, how do you feel?
I think we should keep it at 100, but I think 130 something is way too many.
And according to the Google machine, the NFL practice squad is 16 players max.
16 max. Okay, so you're looking at about 70 between their game day roster with their practice squad.
If we're still keeping the educational part of this, like I agree they should have more than the NFL, but 130 seems extreme.
130, that's scholarships, correct?
I think so.
There's that 130 rostered, Nate. Do you remember?
I do not. I would say it's got to be rostered.
Yeah, because not everybody necessarily has to have a scholarship, especially if you're looking at walk-ons. I think you do have limits on scholarships or full-time scholarship monies, whatever that it comes out to. I would be interested to see what would happen. What would this do to the other divisions? What would this do to Division Two? What would this do? Maybe not so much Division Three. And would there be other options to go like semi-professional leagues that are willing to accept 20-year-olds? Right, as opposed to being like 22, 23. So I do not know, but something to see what will come of it in the future. Jim, Nate?
Are we talking about the fact that Penn State lost? Is that what you're passing us to you?
I mean, I'm not the one that put it in there. I knew about it, but I didn't put it in there.
Me. That was me. Yeah, most definitely. Auburn gained a major in-state flip as its highest rated prospect in 2025 class. Running back Alvin Henderson, number 55 in the ESPN 300, decommitted from Penn State and gave his verbal pledge to the Tigers of Auburn on Friday. Muff.
Oh well.
Why do you think that happened? Was that a
he's
he's
in state?
So that's why we lost it.
Auburn has been actually, I think, in the past 2 or 3 years has had top two within the state of Alabama over the past, and that's over Alabama. Right, that's Auburn's been killing it in state recruiting. It has not translated to quality football just yet.
So this isn't an issue of, you don't have any fears here.
No, it's a running back, Jim. They've consistently been able to bring in quality running backs during James Franklin's tenure. I don't expect that to change. And this is a 2025 commit. I have a feeling we're going to see even more of this. Hey, I'm going to verbally commit to X team.
So are you accepting mediocrity out of Mr. Franklin?
He's number 55 now. How many top recruits have not panned out?
I'm just asking, like, you're okay with him not landing the big ones?
I'm not sure. It's a 2025 commit that I think NIL right now is probably, we're going to see more of this. You're going to see this happen to Ohio State at some point too, buddy.
You just don't think he's a big player in this situation is what I'm saying.
Who?
James Franklin. Like, you don't think he's...
Why do you think he committed to start?
Right, but he can't land the big one. Like, he can get him there, but he can't get to the big one.
Jim, he's had top recruits
He
signed.
can't finalize the deal.
Auburn probably just came and gave him more money.
Jim, that's what it is. I don't know what you want me to say.
He doesn't have donor backing to land the big fish.
Or maybe Auburn said we're going to throw the kitchen sink at this kid.
I'm just
keep him in state.
Or maybe his family said, "Can you stay closer to home so we can actually watch you play, and not have to go to USC or UCLA?"
I'm just wondering, Muff, if you believe you have faith in James Franklin.
December. Yeah, Jim, my faith has not wavered.
Okay, all right, that's all I'm asking.
How's Columbus doing?
We're okay.
You even talking? We're even talking about them?
Silent right now. Just staying quiet.
Why? Why does the beast stay quiet? The beast should always be boasting. Should want to be talked about. Are we worried? Are we scared?
No, stay quiet and carry a big stick.
Are we scared?
Nope.
What stick? They're not even talking.
That's right. We stay quiet. You don't see us coming.
Think they're scary. It's scary out there.
We're not losing recruits to Auburn.
You're just losing to Michigan. It's okay.
We'll see.
Travis Kelce joined Taylor Swift on stage in London over the weekend, getting into the act and dressing up for the occasion. He had on a top hat. I think he had on the full three-piece suit.
Yeah, he did.
Presumably, I would expect, this is my presumption, for the last time before the NFL training camps and preseason get underway. We think this is going to give Kelce a nice preseason bump for him participating in the Taylor Swift show.
I think there might be a marriage proposal.
A brewing?
A brewing. That's what I think.
I wish Shane was here to tell us her thoughts. I wonder if she'd be like, "Oh my God, Travis Kelce was there. It's so great."
No, all right.
Nate?
Good.
Nate?
I don't even know if she's seen the video. I sent it to her, but
we'll find out.
I wish you had a response. Just some type of response that you could read aloud.
If it comes along, I will let you know.
Appreciate it. In the NHL playoffs, the Panthers and Oilers will be going to a Game 7 tonight with the Stanley Cup.
Do we have a live look in, or has it even started?
Tonight, on Monday, June 24th.
Oh, okay. Messing with my time.
Who we got in this game, and do we think that Connor McDavid wins the MVP no matter what?
I do not think he wins it no matter what. I want Florida to win, but Uncle Mo is firmly in the Oilers camp. And if the number one fan from the Oilers shows up, Oilers win.
She was there. She was there in the last game.
They ought to make that woman a saint.
I don't know. I think Oilers, they have looked so good these past 3 games after looking like dog shit the first 3. I don't know what's happened to the Panthers.
I can tell you, boobs.
So they're distracted?
Yes.
I don't know. I just remember when I put
they're in Florida
on the other night when I got home, and it was like midway through the second period. It was already 2-0 Edmonton, and they were out shooting them like 14-3.
That's bad.
These guys are in Florida, Jim. They can go to Miami anytime they want. I don't think that's the thing that's distracting them.
These are Canadian boobies.
It's different.
It's a rare breed of boobies, Muff.
It's rare. Okay.
These boobies can outdrink that Miami boobies. These aren't fake boobies either. These are all natural Canadian boobies.
Are you sure?
They're not filled with poutine?
Jim, are you sure about that?
I'm not 100. I would like a closer examination if you'd like. I volunteer as tribute to examine if you'd like.
I feel like I've listened to at least one interview where this person has flat out said that these are not real.
Well, if I need to do a deep dive in the occasion, I will.
You know what? You have at it, because if the Oilers win, I bet we're going to see them.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Bet we're going to see it.
We should break down the footage on an episode of Sports Stuff.
I don't know if we should break that down for all of your marriages.
If they win, do they invite her to be on the float at the parade?
Yes.
Edmonton. Is it cold 100%. In Edmonton? I wonder what the weather's like.
They're in Northwest Canada, Jim. They're good.
Oh, okay.
I think they're Pacific Northwest type climate.
Gotcha. Where's Alex? Why do I always have to be the one that carries it when he's not here?
What, carry the inappropriate conversation?
Right.
Look, it's got him grinning from ear to ear.
Those watching on YouTube, Alex has a stand-in picture and looks pretty happy. Looks pretty happy about the
He's proud
situation.
of me. He's proud of me right now.
He's giving Jim his blessing. All right. This moves us into
Other wrestling news and sports.
other wrestling news.
Listen, man, I combined the words.
You combined them. Starting off with the College World Series. Nate, take it away.
So I've been watching most of these games as I can when I haven't been officiating. And the start of this College World Series went off with a bang. The first 3 out of the 4 games ended up as walk-offs, and the 4th game was also a one-run game. So plenty of action in Omaha to start off, and we are now down to game 3 out of the best of 3 in the finals, with number 1 Tennessee and number 3 Texas A&M. A&M won game 1 convincingly, 9-5, and then Tennessee won on Sunday 4-1. And again, it'll be a winner take all at I think 7 p.m. tonight.
Yep, I believe so.
And if you have not watched the Texas A&M ball game and you don't know what ball 5 is, boy, are you in for a treat.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So I got to root for A&M in that. I mean, they're just exciting to watch. Their fans are crazy. And Tennessee is looking to become the first number 1 seed to win the College World Series since the Hurricanes did it back in 1999. I found that a little hard to believe.
Yeah,
two SEC teams in the championship game. Again, it was an all ACC, SEC College World Series.
Correct. 4 from each conference.
Yeah, that's what you get in the College World Series. Those are the dominant conferences by far. I'm excited. I haven't watched all of the games, but I've caught some of many of the games. Like I don't think I've sat down and watched all of any one game, but I've caught some Tennessee games. I watched Tennessee in the Super Regional. I definitely caught some A&M games too. So
I know your Tar Heels have one of the best players in the country this
year. Yeah, Honeycutt.
Yeah, he was very clutch down in the end of the wire there, but his team couldn't quite support him.
Yep, he's got the Caitlin Clark syndrome. Nothing, Jim.
No, I'm good.
Not gonna jump on me again for that one. Not gonna Hawk Tuah on that one.
No. Jesus.
All right, in the fight game, after the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was called off, Paul is now scheduled to fight Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships Mike Perry on July 20th.
But not in bare knuckle boxing, right? It's going to be legitimate boxing.
Oh, I'm pretty sure this is just regular boxing. Do you think he's going to fight bare knuckle?
He talks a big game. I would not be surprised.
Don't think
he talks a big game. He's always got to have something that tailors it his way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to fight someone from bare knuckle fighting, but no, we're putting gloves on.
Yeah, I don't really care about this.
Or, hey, I'm going to fight a UFC guy, but it's going to be a guy that hasn't fought in a while.
Jake Paul is like, he's the casino of the fight game, the house. He always has an edge. His rules always give him an edge.
He is smart. I'm good with it.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see where this one goes. I think it's just a fill-in, right? Hey, we got to do something. Yep. Let's bring in the bare knuckle guy and put gloves on him because that's how he's comfortable fighting. What's old Conor McGregor doing, Jim?
Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Damn. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right, drinking proper number 12.
Yeah. You drinking proper number 12, Jim?
No.
Why not?
No. Conor McGregor, if anybody's following the saga, there was supposed to be a press conference to hype up his fight. It mysteriously got canceled at the last
Chandler,
minute.
right?
Yeah, mysteriously got canceled at the last minute. There was all kinds of rumors. They had sold out the Ireland arena that the conference was supposed to be in, and he cancels at the last minute, and there was lots of scuttle. Lots. And the rumor on the streets was he was going to rehab.
Yeah, it was the rumor. You're right.
And it was a lot of the press conferences from the Roadhouse. He had tics. Okay. And that's what led people to go, this man got a problem. And that had died down a little bit. He never really came out with a statement to debunk the rehab thing. And Dana was kind of playing coy. Well, he finally breaks the silence, comes out on Instagram with a long Conor kind of post, but basically says, I broke my toe, and I cannot go out there and fight at less than 100%. It's not fair to my team or my fans. So I am going to wait until the next one. And he says, we had a lapse in concentration and engaged in a training session without wearing the full protective gear. I hit the toe off the elbow and broke the toe clean. So you broke a toe, and now you're not gonna. You're in rehab, Connor. Like, let's just call spade. And I hope you are, because I believe you probably are on drugs. Thoughts?
No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he did post a picture of said broken toe.
Yeah, but it's a toe.
Oh no! I mean, you think how many kicks he can't do?
It's a toe.
I mean, which toe?
Well,
They do.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was pinky toe on his left foot.
The little guy.
Yeah.
4 weeks. He had at least a month before the fight.
I didn't watch Roadhouse.
You didn't have to watch Roadhouse. You had to watch press conferences for Roadhouse.
Oh, you had to be in the conference, the press conference game before that was coming on. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, right, if he had to take some time away because of some issue related to drugs. I mean, not the first fighter to have this happen to them.
Absolutely not.
I just, I don't know. It seems. I mean,
if it is a toe, why wait?
Right. That's the that's the big thing is why wait if it was just if not it was just a toe, but why wouldn't you just come out and say that from the start? I don't know. Whatever it is, I mean, he's good for the fight game when he's in it. So
you're not wrong.
I hope that gets figured out for them.
Yeah.
Because how long this is? I mean, this whole situation, Chandler's been waiting for what 2 years for this.
Yeah.
Like, and he's got to wait longer to get his payday. Like, come on.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think when Connor comes back, they're not going to give him Chandler. They're going to give him a low level or a mid level before he gets Chandler again.
Yeah, and that's who I feel bad for right now because he's pretty much said, I am going to put my career on pause so that I can get this payday from this fight. And it's just drug on and on and on. And Connor doesn't need the money. Right? He might need the money. I don't know. But he's not his career has been made by Mayweather and everything else. So
I agree.
Yeah. Other things in the fighting game, we got boxing star Ryan Garcia suspended 1 year after he reached a settlement with the New York State Athletic Commission following his positive tests for the performance-enhancing drug Ostarine. The suspension is retroactive to his April 20th decision victory over Devin Haney, which has been overturned to a no contest. Garcia forfeits the purse. He disclosed the purse was about $1.2 million, which is what he's going to give up after all this is said and done. He's also being fined by the Athletic Commission $10K. Sorry. I mean, just another fighter that got caught with the drugs, with the PEDs, I should say.
I guess.
You guess what?
I mean, they're gonna get him. They weren't letting him off of this one. But I kind of find this one was sketchy.
The test?
Yeah, like I don't know. There's a backstory to this one I need to go follow up on because it was like they knew he did and they still let him fight.
Okay.
It was very sketchy.
So the show went on.
It can be found in supplements and it was just they pushed this fight to sell the tickets. It was bad form.
Okay. So this was boxing wanted to get its payday, but didn't want the boxer to get their payday.
Yeah, kind of thing. In New York Athletic Commission, this is boxing being boxing, in my opinion.
Sure. Anybody seen Bill Belichick's new girlfriend?
No, I haven't seen her, but the facts that you've just laid out, wild.
Bill's dating a 24-year-old former cheerleader. Jordan Hudson is the name. Who remembers the video of Bill? Allegedly, was Bill coming out of the back?
Allegedly, that was Bill.
Allegedly. I mean, I don't know if it was ever confirmed. Coming out the back, this looked like to the front porch in like this little neighborhood on just like little porch and just like hanging out, and it looked like who's this polar bear coming out here right now? Remember this video?
Yep.
Yeah.
Apparently that was at her house.
She's not bad looking either.
I mean,
what the heck?
Bill's winning retirement right now, right? I mean, he's not retired, but like give him a year of this. Why is he going to want to go back to coaching?
My question is like, there's so many questions I have, first of all, but like, who, I don't care what age, would say, you know what I'm going to do? Date Bill Belichick.
I mean, maybe she had some strategy for one of the games, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you want to hang out with me? Like, we can watch some football."
Hey, look, it's Sunday afternoon.
And her ex is old. She's into old guys. She gets it. She likes the old guys. That's her thing. More power to her. But I can't see him being good company. Listen here, assholes. Like I just don't get it. Whatever.
You know what? I hope they're happy.
Me too. And there's hope for me when I'm, crippled.
What? With what?
If my wife sticks with me after listening to this podcast, like, first off, she's a saint.
Well, that was already known.
But, whatever.
The Olympics are coming up in July, gents. We obviously have the U.S. swimming, diving, track and field trials really wrapping up right now, and been happening over about the past week. Have we watched any of these trials? And if you did, does that like make you excited for the Olympics, or is just like this is just a prelude to what I'm going to get excited about in 3 weeks? I'm not really excited about watching this right now.
I did not watch swimming and or track and field. I did watch the wrestling trials.
That was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's all I watched.
Okay.
You asked me what I watched.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm currently watching the track and field right now as is what's on, and I have watched some of the swimming. But yeah, I mean, it does get you a little excited for the Olympics and something to watch in the summer that's not the normal sports.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't really see, like, I don't get into, maybe I'm un-American, I'm sorry, but like, I don't get into the Olympics. Like, I can't.
Yeah, like the preliminary stuff is whatever, but like when it gets to a final or whatever, and it's like the best in the world, it gets exciting, especially when you know you got an American in the finals and in contention.
By the way, we had a listener call us out and say we're a bunch of jagaloons. They do gymnastics in the summer.
Oh yeah, Garrett told me that too.
We goofed.
I mean, let's just be real honest. Simone Biles has been hyped up, and why would that be happening prior to Olympics? She's not participating. So.
But I just don't get into it. It's not my thing. I think the amateurs.
I enjoy watching the Winter Olympics more than the Summer Olympics, but I mean, I'll watch the swimming because usually we have a good swim team, and then I personally like track and field just to see how fast people are.
Yeah, I get into the track and field stuff too.
I don't get into the pageantry and the amateurism. Like, I feel bad for them. They get nothing.
They get nothing for the Olympics.
And like, the guy who's great at ping pong is just doing it for the medal.
I mean, they get money too. Their country,
not a lot of money, Muff.
Their country can pay them money, Jim. They can get endorsement deals.
The United States is not putting the ping pong guy on the Wheaties box.
Jim, you need to make an NIL deal for the ping pong guy.
We should.
Is ping pong a summer or winter, Jim?
You know what? I'm not going to make this mistake.
I don't know. So let's not get too excited about this one.
Well, we got to say table tennis, first of all. Table tennis, Summer Olympics.
I say why?
It is Summer Olympics.
Okay, good.
First off, China just whoops everybody's ass. Let's just be real clear.
That's expected.
And United States isn't even in the top 12. So that's great. Wow.
Well, Jim,
So
get the training. You got to represent our country.
I feel like you've been limbering up. I think it's time for you to take on the table tennis royalty.
If somebody knows the Olympic team for table tennis, tell them we want them to show up on our show.
We can
Well, right
schedule.
now we have Snoop Dogg demonstrating how to pole vault.
God, he knows how to get high. That's for sure.
I think that's the stick there. I think that's a stick. So this a little callback here to the beginning of the episode.
We're gonna Hawk Tuah? That's not
No,
Olympic
no, no,
sport.
we're not. Well,
If it was, the Olympics would be a lot more interesting.
there's definitely amateurs involved. Um,
Ayo.
This show's gone off the rails.
At the golf event today, after the protesters were, as they were being taken out in cuffs,
Uh-huh. They offered a Hawk Tuah?
there were chants of USA. And for the life of me, I could not think of why are we chanting USA in this moment. Aside from there's a whole bunch of drunk people hanging out the golf course, and that's just what you chant when something happens like that. I was baffled. I was like, we just had protesters that were arrested, and we're going to cheer USA.
Well, it's
When
because they got arrested. That's what we do. We arrest people. USA.
that's a USA thing. USA law enforcement. Like
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Yeah. Then yes, we're a police state. That's our thing, man.
I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. I feel like we're just overusing the USA chant now.
Yes. I don't understand how like you just caught on to this.
It just doesn't make, I didn't expect it in golf aside from like the Ryder Cup. That's why is what it is. I mean, we didn't get that when Scotty Scheffler got arrested. There weren't USA chants then.
We weren't there to chant. Like
There,
there
there,
weren't.
there were people there. People were there, Jim.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Muff.
They saw that man shit his pantaloons.
Well, because we're pro cop. Cops equal USA. Like, how are you missing this?
Doesn't make sense to me. That's all I'm getting at.
This is
Oh, oh, yes. In an
uh,
election year, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff will be coming out with a secondary podcast, the Jim Compson After Hours,
right.
coming to a platform near you. But for now, this wraps up this week's episode of Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. As a reminder, you can catch us on YouTube, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. You can follow our socials at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
USA.
USA. USA. And to make sure that you're chanting with us this July at the Olympics, make sure that you tell a friend, make
Make
a
a friend.
friend. Be